I replayed every moment, trying to fix the past. I stayed awake with questions that never asked me back. I kept adjusting the meaning, so nothing had to end. I didn't know how tired I was before I learned to let it be. I thought holding on was loving, that effort proved I cared. I didn't know peace was waiting once I stopped going there. Before I learned to let it be, I fought what wouldn't stay. I tried to turn almost love into something it couldn't play. I was louder in my hoping than you were in your truth. Before I learned to let it be, I was losing you. I carried all the weight myself, caught it being strong. I stayed when things felt wrong, just to prove I belonged. I softened every boundary, let patience replace me. I didn't see how much of me I was strayed in piece by piece. I confused surrender with failure, letting go with defeat. I didn't know release could feel this complete. Before I learned to let it be, I tried to change the sound. I was shaping every silence so love wouldn't break down. I waited for alignment that never came through. Before I learned to let it be, I stayed too long for you. You watched me keep believing, never asked me why. You were fine with how it was, why something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling this being kind. It didn't ask me to hold on, I just wouldn't release my mind. I've learned to let it be, and the truth feels loud. Love shouldn't make you disappear or keep you up at night. I won't force what won't meet me or beg for proof. I learned to let it be, and I finally chose the truth. I don't regret the lead I gave, I regret what I couldn't see. That peace was always waiting. Before I learned to let it be. You came into my life gently, spoke like you meant to stay. I lowered all my defenses, letting you in that way. but something in your closeness felt rushed, not warm, not sure. I felt the weight before I knew what I was bracing for. I thought love would arrive careful, that it would learn my pace. I didn't know our sudden truth can hit you in the face. Your love didn't land softly, it fell without control. I felt it hit my open heart and leave a mark on my soul. I was ready to be held, you were passing through. Your love didn't land softly, and I felt it all from you. You said the right kind of things, just not when I needed them most. You offered pieces of yourself, like something you'd almost post. I stayed still so I wouldn't scare you, made room for your delay. I was learning how to absorb the fall instead of moving away. I confuse intensity with care, impact with something real. I didn't know love can arrive loud and still not know how to feel. Your love didn't land softly, not cruel, just unaware. I was standing when my arm caught back, you dropped it there. I didn't need perfection or a flawless start. Your love didn't land softly, it just hit my heart. You never checked where I was standing before you let it fall. You walked away from the deadness like it wasn't yours at all. I was breaking in the quiet, calling this being strong. It didn't mean to hurt me, but you didn't stay long. Your love even landed softly, and now I see the truth. Love shouldn't feel like getting back if it's meant to choose you. I won't stand unguarded again for something I'm sure was belief. Your love didn't lay softly, so I won't catch it. I don't regret how open I was, I regret what I ignored. Your love didn't land softly, now I'm choosing something more. We kept saying not right now, like time would wait for us. We felt the truth circling close, but never spoke it up. I sensed the moment slipping, felt it leaving the room. We were always almost ready, but never soon. I thought patience meant wisdom, that wait and show control. I didn't know how fast love fades, but time is ignored. We chose silence over talent, The moment passed us by, I was holding all the words, you were holding the line. We didn't miss love suddenly, we let it slip between. We chose silence over time and lost what we could have been. I saved the truth for later, you did the very same, but kept protecting comfort till nothing stayed the same. I waited for the opening, you waited too long. We were standing in the same place, but moving on. I confused being careful with being afraid. I didn't know how much of us I delayed. We chose silence over time, and like love would understand, I was ready to be honest. You were steady where you stand. We didn't argue or fall apart, we didn't even fight. We chose silence over time, and missed the night. You watched me hold my breath, never asked me why. You felt safe inside the pause while something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling this being born. You didn't stop the moment, we just let it go. We chose silence over time, and now I hear it clear. Love doesn't wait forever for courage to appear. I won't say my truth again for a safer side. We chose silence over time, and love was the line. I don't regret the love we felt, I regret what we delayed. We chose silence over time, and that's how it slipped away. You said maybe like it mattered, like it held something true. I'll build a future out of causes and waited there for you. I read hope into small gestures, into things you didn't say. I kept telling myself almost meant someday. I thought love didn't need clarity, that feeling was enough. I didn't know how dangerous almost love becomes. I believed in almost, in the space before yes. I stayed loyal to potential, while you stayed non-committal. I was loving like it was real, you were keeping your options open. I believed in almost, and that belief broke me. You never promised forever, never told me to stay, but you never pushed me away either. So I filled in the space. I accepted half answers, called patience being strong. I didn't see I was waiting got confused for what connection to lay with something deep. I didn't know how much of myself I was losing just to keep you near. I believed in novels, and I now will see. I was standing in your living, you were standing next to me. I made excuses for distance, called uncertainty love. I believe in those and gave it too much. You watched me stay available, never asked me why. You took comfort in my waiting, while something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling this being fair. You didn't lie to me directly, you just never met me there. I believe in novels, but love suddenly feel unsure. Love doesn't live in hesitation, way to the chart. I won't build my heart again on something undefined. I believe in almost, now I'm choosing real this time. I don't regret how deeply I felt, I regret what I mistook. I believe in almost until I finally loved. Every time I lean toward you, I stop just short of short. I feel my heart asking something you never answered for. We moved in careful circles, never crossed the line. I was always reaching forward, you were buying time. I thought love would feel like grounding, like something I could rest in. I didn't know it could sound this much like guessing. Love felt like a question I was scared to ask. I kept waiting for your answer, but it never came back. I was offering my certainty, you were offering doubt. Love felt like a question, and it wore me out. I searched your tone for meaning, your pauses for a sign. I learned how to read your silence, like it might change with time. I stopped asking what we were, started asking how to stay. I was shrinking into patience while you stay the same. I confused uncertainty with something deep and new. I didn't know love shouldn't leave you. Yes, I'm sure what is true. Love felt like a question, but no right reply. I watch me second guess myself. Never ask me why. You feel fine inside the maybe. Well, something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling us being born. You didn't make love confusing, I just stayed too long. And I know the truth. Love shouldn't leave you wondering if you're wanted to. I won't build my heart again on something undefined. Love felt like a question. Now I'm choosing a clear sign. I don't regret the love I felt, I regret what I allowed. Love felt like a question. Now I answer it out loud. You were here when it was simple, when nothing asked too much, when loving me was effortless and light to touch. But when the weight started showing, when feelings asked to stay, I felt you slowly choosing the easier way. I thought love meant staying when things got real. I didn't know comfort mattered more than how I feel. We stayed until it was easy, until love needed more. I was asking for presence, you were heading for the door. I gave you all my patience, you gave me distance instead. You stayed until it was easy, and quietly left. You listened when it was surface, or nothing felt too deep, but you disappeared in moments I couldn't keep. I learned how to minimize myself so you wouldn't feel this straight. I was carrying a hot box while you escaped the pain. I confused your calm with care, your silence with being kind. I didn't know how often you were already gone in your mind. You stayed until it was evening, until effort had a cost. I was building something honest, you were counting what it lost. God didn't need perfection, just someone who would stay. You stayed until it was easy, then slipped away. watched me getting soften. Never asked me why. We felt fine, avoiding death while something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, all in this big road. You didn't leave me suddenly, you left when it wasn't far. You skated till it was easy, and now I see the truth. Doesn't walk away when it finally asks for proof. I won't stay where the foot stays. The moment love gets real, you stayed until it was easy. Now I choose how I feel. I don't regret the love I gave, I regret what I eschewed. You stayed until it was easy. Now I'm choosing something true. I used to chase every feeling, needed answers right away. I thought love meant reassurance at the end of every day. I'd read into every silence, try to fix what I found. I was scared of the space between us before I learned to sit down. I thought doubt meant failure, that question meant goodbye. I didn't know some truths arrive if you give them time. I learned to sit with doubt, let it breathe, let it stay. I stopped forcing certainty that wasn't mine to claim. I don't need every answer to know what's true. I learned to simmer down and listen to it too. Stop begging for clarity, stop rehearsing the past. I learned how to feel unsure without falling apart. You stayed distant in your way, I stayed honest in mine. I didn't need to rush the truth for it to arrive on time. I confused control with safety, urgency with care. I didn't know peace could exist right here. I learned to sit with doubt, not let it make me small. I don't taste reassurance that never comes at all. If love is meant to meet me, it won't make me back. I learned to sit with doubt instead of losing myself. You watch me stop explaining Never asked me why. You were fine, staying unclear. Oh, something in me tried. I was breaking and waiting, calling patience grace. You didn't teach me to doubt, I just learned my own pain. I understand when down, and it taught me who I am. I don't need constant eternity to know where I stand. Love shouldn't feel like guessing, standing without ground. I learned to sit with doubt, and I'm still standing now. I don't feel the quiet anymore, no questions passing through. I learned to sit with doubt and trust myself too. We fill the hours after sunset, let the nights arrive on cue. We talked about the day behind us, but never what we'd do. We sat close enough for comfort, close enough to stay. But every time tomorrow came, it quietly slipped away. I thought staying in the moment meant we were doing fine. I didn't know the future missing was already a sign. We shared evenings and not plans, stayed warm, never brave. I was building towards something, you were just passing the days. I didn't need forever spoken or promises in hand, but we shared evenings, not plans. And I couldn't stand there. You said let's just see what happens, like time would decide for us. I smile like I agree with you, but my heart didn't trust. I noticed how the nights felt full while mornings felt thin, like love only existed where commitment didn't begin. I confused enjoying the present with being the fate to ask. I didn't know how much of myself I was letting pass. We shared evenings and not plans, same table, different views. I was hoping for direction, you were fine with the lose. I kept pretending it wasn't enough, just to feel your hand. But we shared evenings, not plans, and that broke where I stand. You watched me stop mentioning later, never asked me why. You felt safe inside me now, while something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling this being calm. You didn't refuse the future, you just never brought it on. We shared evenings, not plans, and now I know the truth. Love doesn't live only in the moment, if it's meant to choose you. I won't keep losing what's real. I needed you in the moment, not after I pulled away. I asked in smaller ways before you finally chose to stay. You noticed when I went quiet, when I stopped reaching in. You showed up with concern after everything thinned. I thought maybe this time you'd feel it too. I didn't know care arriving late still feels like losing you. Your care came late again when I was almost gone. You held me once I learned how to stand on my own. I didn't need perfection or a sudden change. Your care came late again, and it doesn't feel the same. You asked me what was wrong now. We finally broke the calm, but I've been quietly asking for you all along. I carried it in real time. You noticed it in rewind. I was bleeding in the present. You were catching up behind. I confused the late concern with something deep and true. I didn't know love shouldn't need distance to break through. Your care came late again, not fake, just out of sin. I was already letting go when you chose to rethink. I stayed honest in the waiting. You waited till it hurt. Your care came late again, and it reached me last. You watched me grow distant, never asked me why. You felt safe in a quiet, but something in me died. I was breaking in real time, calling this being kind. You didn't ignore my pain, you just arrived behind. Your care came late again, and now I trust the sign. Love doesn't show up after it's already crossed the line. I won't wait to be seen, only when I'm leaving bed. Your care came late again, so I won't stay again. I don't doubt that you cared at all. I doubt on it alright. Care came late again, and I chose to save my life. Started out like something solid, like we knew where to stand. Slowly every promise slipped right through my hands. I felt the edges bending, felt the outline change. I tried to hold her steady while nothing stayed the same. I thought love just needed patience, that time will keep it whole. I didn't know how easily it can lose control. Love didn't hold its shape, it softened and it slipped. I was holding on to meaning while you loosened your grip. I kept trying to remember what we said it was. Love didn't hold its shape, and neither did us. You spoke in careful circles, never said too much. I kept tracing what we were by memory and touch. I adjusted my expectations, called it being kind. I was trying to preserve us while you redesigned. I confused flexibility with being unseen. I didn't know love shouldn't ask to be reshaped endlessly. Love didn't hold its shape, I brought just undefined. I was building all the feeling you were leaving behind. I stayed faithful to the outline, even when it moved. Love didn't hold its shape, and I felt the truth. You watched me keep adapting, never asked the cost. You felt fine with the changing, or something in me was lost. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling it being strong. You didn't tear love apart, you just let it go on. But love didn't hold its shape, and now I know that sign. Love shouldn't keep reshaping you until you lose your spine. I won't keep bending myself to make uncertainty stay. Love didn't hold its shape, so I walked away. I don't regret how deeply I loved, I regret what I excused. Love didn't hold its shape, and now I choose what's true. I saw the change before I named it, felt the pause inside your tune. Every instinct tried to tell me I was standing here alone. I noticed how your effort faded, how questions stayed unanswered. But I kept walking forward like the signs were just bad weather. I thought doubt meant I was overthinking, that love deserved more time. I didn't know ignoring myself was crossing a line. So my self-love needs patience, even when it feels wrong. I waited past the sign and stayed too long. I lowered every standard, so nothing had to break. I called discomfort growth and silence a mistake. You never asked me to keep waiting, never promised you to ride, but I kept believing effort would change with time. I confused hope with wisdom, delayed but being kind. I didn't know how much of me I left behind. I waited past the sign, past the truth I felt inside. I was busy making excuses while my heart was tired. I didn't leave what love felt then. When I felt small, I waited past the sun through it all. You watched me down my instinct, never asked me why. You felt safe inside my patience while something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, calling this being strong. You didn't miss a warning, I just ignored it all along. I waited past the sun, but I won't do that again. Love shouldn't lead you to betray yourself to make it end. I trust my body and my heart when they say it's time. I waited past the sun, now I'm done waiting. I don't regret how deeply I love, I regret what I denied. I waited past the sign, well, I'm finally on my side. We laughed through the easy moments, kept things light, kept them clean. We talked about the good days and pretended the rest didn't mean. I felt the questions waiting, heavy just under the skin. But every time it got uncomfortable, we chose to smile again. I thought love meant staying gentle, not pushing too far. I didn't know avoiding the hard parts is where endings start. We skipped the hard parts so nothing would break. I kept holding back the truth for comfort's sake. We stay calm, stay careful, never went that far. We skipped the hard parts, and that's where we lost our heart. You said let's not ruin the moment, I agreed without a fight. I learned how to postpone honesty every single night. We built something fragile, called it being grown. But love can't survive on ease alone. I confused peace with connection, silence with being strong. I didn't know what we avoided did and paid the price. We skipped the parts, and now it's here. Oh, love doesn't grow where honesty never appears. I won't choose comfort again over what's true. We skipped the hard parts, and I'm done skipping me too. Don't regret the love we felt. I regret what we avoided from the start. We skipped the hard parts, and it broke our hearts. Didn't start as absence, just a little space to breathe. You said you needed nothing more, and I believed. Replies came later than before. Touch didn't last as long. I told myself this was just growth, not something wrong. I thought distance was temporary, something we'd outgrow. I didn't know how quietly it learns where to go. Your distance grew a habit, and I learned to live with less. I kept adjusting to the quiet, calling it progress. I was reaching out in real time. You were already gone. Your distance grew a habit, and I stayed too long. I stopped expecting effort, stopped asking what we were. I learned how not to lean too close, so things wouldn't stir. You seem fine with how it's settled. Said this was just our pace, and I was shrinking into patience while you claimed your space. I could feel his consistency, something that wasn't real. I didn't know you can get used to how empty feels. Your distance distance grew a habit.
And who just losing?
I was holding on the closest
You I needed.
I kept making room for you while you pulled back instead. Your distance grew a habit and lived in my head. You watched me start reaching and never asked me why. You felt safe in the pattern my soul letting me die. I was breaking in your in heavy, calling this being grown. You didn't push me away, you tried me to feel alone. Your distance grew a habit, and now I break the chain. Love shouldn't feel like learning how to tolerate pain. I won't normalize absence or beg to feel chosen again. Your distance grew a habit. Now I'm learning it. I don't regret how long I tried. I regret what I excused. Your distance grew a habit, and that habit lost me too. You didn't promise forever, didn't swear you'd be around, but I built something solid on the way you stayed and left without a sound. I thought effort meant intention, that time meant we were real. I didn't know how quiet it feels when love won't choose to feel. I kept waiting for reassurance, for something you decide. I didn't know love could leave without even trying. Love didn't ask to stay, it just slowly let go. I was holding on to meet it. You never said out loud though. I didn't get a reason, didn't get a sign. Love didn't ask to stay, it just slipped from mine. You stayed long enough to matter, not long enough to choose. I learned how easy it is to love what you can lose. I stopped asking where we stood, started standing alone. I was building something hopeful, you were already gone. I confused silence for safety, distance with being kind. I didn't know love can disappear without saying goodbye. I didn't ask to stay, didn't fight or resist. I was reaching for certainty, you were fine with the mist. I kept hoping commitment would arrive with time. Love didn't ask to stay, and neither do you try. You watched me keep believing just let it go. Love didn't ask to stay, and now I understand. Love doesn't need convincing or a second sense. I won't hold me or beg for proof again. Love didn't ask to stay, so I finally let it in. I don't regret the love I get. I regret what I delayed. Oh, didn't ask to stay. No more quit away. I used to wake up knowing where my heart would land. Now every feeling hesitates, like it needs a plan. I replayed simple moments, wondered what they meant. I didn't know how much of love was meant to feel certain. I thought that was just a season, something we'd outgrow. I didn't know how tiring it is to never really know. I missed being sure, but standing on solid ground. I was always second guessing while you moved around. I didn't need perfection or words rehearsed. I miss being sure, and that hurt worse. I searched a tone for answers, with silence for a sign. I learned how to read between lines that were never mine. I stopped asking where we stood, afraid of what I'd hear. I was choosing uncertainty just to keep you near. I confused being patient with ignoring my fear. I didn't know love shouldn't feel this unclear. I miss being sure, now wondering every day if I mattered in the same way or was just either way. I kept calling it progress, called out being mature, but I missed being sure. Oh, that I missed you. You watch it grow hesitant, never asked me why. It felt fine inside, but maybe but something in me died. I was breaking in the ordinary, all in this being wrong. You didn't make me unsure, I just stayed too long. I miss being sure. Now I know the sign. Love shouldn't feel like guessing or borrowed time. I won't trade my clarity for someone unsure. I miss being sure. regret what I endured. Honest being short of funny end. We said let's give it time, like time knew what to do. Days kept stacking quietly, while nothing moved with you. I felt the answers waiting, heavy but unsaid. We kept walking side by side, while something else was dead. I thought love would speak up if it needed change. I didn't know silence goes louder when weeks rearrange. We let weeks decide what we were afraid to choose. I was asking for direction, you were letting time lose. We didn't end it honestly, didn't even try. We let weeks decide, and that's how we said goodbye. We checked in less and less, caught it being busy lives. I learned how absence slowly stops needing alibis. You stopped leaning forward, I stopped asking why. We were both quietly agreeing without saying it out loud. I confused patience with wisdom, waiting with being kind. I didn't know letting time decide was leaving love behind. Let weeks decide instead of using our voice. I was hoping for effort, you were hoping for choice. But didn't fight or fall apart, didn't even try. We let weeks decide and watched it die. You watched me stop reaching, never asked me why. You felt safe letting time pass, was something in me died. I was breaking in slow motion, calling this beat wrong. You didn't choose to leave me, you just let time do it alone. We let weeks decide, and now I know the cost of doesn't survive. When choice is lost, I won't wait for time again to tell you what I feel. We let weeks decide. I'm choosing you. I don't regret the love we had, I regret what we delayed. We let weeks decide, and that's how love slipped away. I didn't leave in a storm, didn't need to be loud. I just felt the truth arrive and listened to it now. I stayed longer than I should've, tried to make it all align, but loving you was costing me pieces of my spine. I thought walking away meant anger, that I'd have to hard and fast. I didn't know you can't let go without turning cold inside. I left with care intact, didn't burn where we were. I just stopped reaching for a love that couldn't return. I didn't choose resentment or rewrite the past. I left with care inside and chose myself at last. I don't wish you regret, I don't wish you pain. I just couldn't keep pretending this was something it wasn't named. I learned the difference slowly between staying kind and staying small. I don't need to hate you to know I had to walk. I confuse loyalty with staying too long. I didn't know self-respect could feel this calm. I left with care inside, still wishing you well. I didn't erase what we meant, I just rang the bell. I carry love without breathing, then honesty lead the act. I left with care intact and didn't look back. You watched me soften my knees, never asked me why. I felt safe and my patience was something and it died. I was breaking without noise, calling this being goal. You didn't force me to leave, I just finally went home. I love with care intact, and that's how I know I heal. Love doesn't have to turn cool to prove it was real. I won't close my heart again just to survive the past. I left with care intact, and that's my strength. I don't regret the love I gave, how deeply I tried. I left with care intact, and my heart still open wide. At first it felt temporary, like you stepped back and somehow I kept space beside my habits, like you needed now. I noticed how the quiet stayed, didn't rush or fade. It didn't hurt the same forever, it just remained. I thought missing you would be love, something sharp and clear. I didn't know absence words could soften and still be here. Your absence found its place, not cruel, just real. It stopped interrupting my days and started how I heal. I'm not waiting for you anymore, or bracing for your name. Your absence found its place, and I'm not the same. I stopped checking old messages, stopped measuring time. I learned how to breathe in moments that were only mine. You're not a wound I touch daily, not a fight I defend. You're just a quiet understanding of where things end. I confuse letting go with losing what we were. I didn't know acceptance could feel this short. Absence found this place, somewhere it can't hurt me. Does it sit in every thought, or ask to be seen? I carry what we meant to me without the pain. Your absence found its place and stop calling my name. You didn't leave all at once, you faded into space. And I learned how to stop chasing what would it stay. I was breaking in slow motion, calling this being strong. That didn't take yourself from me, I just moved on. Your absence found its place, and I found mine too. Love shouldn't leave you searching for what you already knew. I won't feel empty spaces with echoes of the past. My absence found its place, and I'm free at last. I don't erase what we were, I don't pretend it was wrong. Your absence found its place, and my life moved on. I used to chase the feeling, every spark, every sign. I thought love had to shake me just to prove it was mine. I stayed through too much guessing, called chaos something deep. I didn't know how tired I was until I learned to sleep. I thought intensity meant truth, that calm was settling down. I didn't know peace could feel this solid now. My heart chooses steady now, not the highs that disappear. I don't need to be unsure just to feel someone near. I want love that shows up when days are slow somehow. My heart chooses steady now. I don't need perfect timing or words dressed up to shine. I just want consistency that feels alive. I've learned to trust the quiet when it doesn't make me small. Love shouldn't feel like standing, waiting for a call. Like confused butterfly with something meant to last. I didn't know safety could feel this intact. My heart chooses stay now, not almost, not will see. I don't want potential, I want someone choosing me. I won't bend my boundaries just to keep someone around. My heart chooses steady now. I love people who hesitate, who stay halfway. I caught uncertainty pacing and came for you with it. I was breaking and waiting, calling this being grown. I don't need to be chosen lady, I need to be chosen now. My heart chooses steady down, and I'm proud of that change. Love shouldn't leave you anxious or constantly afraid. I love deep but not disappear. I know myself somehow. My heart chooses steady now. I don't regret who I was or how hard I tried. Her heart chooses steady now, and that feels right. I spent so long holding tension, bracing for what might change, keeping my heart half open so I wouldn't feel ashamed. I learned how to stay alert, like love could disappear. I didn't know how heavy that was until the quiet cleared. I thought love meant readiness, always standing by. I didn't know peace could feel like letting my guard lie. This is where I rest my hands, no more gripping, no defense. I don't need to prove my worth, or explain my presence. I'm not waiting for the ground to fall or checking where you stand. This is where I rest my hands. I don't flinch at every silence, don't read between each word. I trust the space between us when nothing feels unsure. I stopped rehearsing outcomes, stopped holding my breath. Love shouldn't feel like pressure sitting in my chest. I confuse control with safety, effort with being strong. I didn't know belonging could feel this calm. This is where I rest my hands, not on maybes, not on fear. I don't chase reassurance just to keep someone near. I'm not shrinking, I'm preparing for the moment I'm left. This is where I rest my hands and let myself rest. I love from a place of waiting, from almost till light, yeah. I kept my heart in motion so I wouldn't regret. I was breaking in small ways, calling tense in love. I don't need a herpes start, it's already enough. This is where I rest my hands when something stays. Love should I feel like standing at the edge every day. I'm allowed to feel steady. There's something where I stand. This is where I rest my hands. I don't regret the mouth I wrote to understand who I am. I finally stopped reaching outward. This is where I rest